Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Triple Play Podcast. Today it was for the first night at at the Oakwoods Country Club. It was the Triple Bogey Podcast, but we cleaned it up on the back nine. We
Oh
cleaned it up
yeah.
on the back nine. So really got to playing some good golf this morning, though. But if you're not, listen, if you're not going golfing on the weekend with your buddies, I don't know what you're doing. So go golfing on Saturday, watch some football on Sunday.
Oh
But
yeah.
all right, Nick, I'm gonna let you tell everybody what we're talking about on the podcast today.
We're gonna cover the 4 o'clock games today. Um, not very many exciting matchups, but there are a couple. A couple good games for sure. And I think we're gonna throw in the Sunday night game as well.
And
Correct.
as always, our bold predictions at the end.
Oh yeah.
Those are the
Gotta
ones.
add in the bowl
Those are the
prediction.
ones. I'm looking forward to it. Um, well, who do you got first on your docket? We'll just go ahead and start there.
I got Seahawks 49ers.
Okay, same thing over here. It's supposed to
That's
be a slosh fest. Supposed to be rain in the forecast. Don't quote me. Weather has been wrong before,
yeah.
but and I feel sorry for Trey Lance. Honestly, like two slosh fests to start the
Yeah.
season, kind of
Yeah.
sorta. So, um. Yeah, I don't want to play fantasy football players in this matchup.
The only one I'm thinking about is Debo because
Debo.
I don't think you can sit him.
No, if you drafted Debo, you're playing Debo.
Yeah,
He's the only he's the only running back slash wide receiver slash quarterback slash wildcat option that I'd be playing in this game. Listen, the best thing they could do is just tell Trey Lance to Trey, come here. Come here. Yeah, I gotta tell you something. Just put Debo behind him. Debo's out there snapping the ball. Anyway, as far as this game is concerned, like I said, could be a rain fest. On the Seahawks side, maybe Rashad Penny. Kenneth Walker's supposed to be back from his hernia surgery recovery. So you've got a rookie running back that's looking to get touches over Rashad Penny now. Rashad Penny will still be the lead back, obviously, in this game. If you drafted DK, you might have to play DK, but I think stay away from everybody else. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't buy into the Will Disley touchdown last week. I wouldn't play Tyler Lockett unless I just absolutely had to. Um, but yeah, other than that, a DK maybe Rashad Penny if you have to. It's tough on the Seahawks side of the ball. What do you
yeah.
think on what do you think about those Seahawks players?
I agree. I think if you drafted DK, you probably do have to play him. But I mean, I would probably play Rashad unless you have some kind of crazy running back core. Like I think he's probably starting in most leagues on somebody's team.
Yeah,
And I don't know. I mean, really, other than Debo, I don't think you roll out anything from the 49ers other than maybe their defense because the Seahawks might not score much. Uh,
yeah. If you have a two wide receiver for a really good offense this week, play that guy over Debo,
yeah.
obviously. 49ers, Trey Lance, you're not starting Trey Lance this week. Like, obviously, he can't play in the rain. We saw that already. Not gonna be able to throw the ball very much. The rushing attempt should be there. Could rush a touchdown in, but
Yeah.
I think it's wait and see time right now with Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Um, as far as running backs, we don't know because Elijah Mitchell's out for 8 weeks with an MCL sprain slash damage to the MCL. Not sure quite. I don't have quite the detail on that. But my name is Jeff Wilson. It's supposed to be is supposed to be the running back there now as far as the lead back, but they've got two guys, an undrafted guy and a third round guy, two young rookie running backs that could be taking time away from him. So
Yeah.
we'll see who gets the second call, so to speak, in the backfield for the 49ers because the
Yeah.
49ers rushing has always been great.
Hmm.
Kind of got to figure out who they're going to give the ball to. And then, like you
Yeah.
said, as far as wide receivers, uh, Debo. As far as running backs, Debo.
Hmm.
Just that. I mean, Debo is the only player in this game where I'm like, oh boy, I feel good.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Debo. It's probably goes Debo and DK in that order, and those are the only two I feel like you. I don't know, dude. I feel like DK is just such a freak that if he gets the ball, there's no telling what he can do once he gets the ball.
well,
Like,
just for retrospect, last week it was 7 for 36 for DK. So 7 receptions, 36. He didn't absolutely kill you because he
mm-mm.
had 10 points. I'm going to check out my brother's lineup real quick in Yahoo because I know he's a DK owner. He technically has DK in right now. However, on his bench there isn't much better options. Um, Here's a good one. Would you rather play Jarvis Landry over DK?
Probably.
7 for 117 last week.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah. So other options he had I wouldn't have played. Darnell Mooney, Elijah Moore, and Devontae Smith I wouldn't have played. But
Nah.
Jarvis Landry might be a decent play seeing as they're playing Tampa Bay this week and they're going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just an example. I mean, that's a guy in a good offense with a quarterback that's going to throw the ball. So
Don't know
yeah,
where he's gonna throw it though much.
no,
But
no. Last week it was to the Saints. This week
yeah.
it could be to the Buccaneers. But anyway, final score. Who you got winning this one?
I've got it lower scoring and close, 17-14 San Francisco, because I just think they are a better team, I think. But I don't see it being very high scoring at all.
I'm gonna go 13-10 Seahawks in
Go
this
for it.
one. I'm gonna
Well,
have
hey,
the
the
Seahawks
49ers
going
were bad last
2-0.
week.
Yeah. I think they will respond, but again, it's gonna be a weird game in the rain. The Seahawks are prepared for this kind of football. Like they're
Right.
prepared
All it
for
does
the
is rain in Seattle.
and they're prepared for the kind of football of low scoring,
Hmm.
grind it out because they know they're not going to score a lot of points this season.
Right.
So I like the Seahawks in this one, 13-10. Next up, where you want to go?
I've got Falcons Rams next up on the docket there.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and talk about the Rams first if you want to there. Matt Stafford, I might wait and see. I might wait and see this week.
Now, I'm gonna say this week, just because they're playing the Falcons, might be the last week you keep him in if he doesn't do good.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's not doing now it's understandable if he has a bad day against the Bills. It's the Bills. The Bills have the best defense in football.
Yeah.
But if he comes out here and has a rough day with the Falcons, who are one of the worst teams in football overall, you have to worry about it. And you honestly, I don't know if you have to worry about Cooper Kupp because Stafford looked awful and Cooper Kupp looked like Cooper Kupp, last week.
Okay. I'm going to run a couple of names by you here with Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
These are guys that are available on our Yahoo waiver wire.
Okay.
Okay. Do you roll out Matthew Stafford or do you roll out Derek Carr against Arizona?
I'm going Stafford.
Same.
Still.
Okay. Or do you roll out Carson Wentz against Detroit? I say you go Wentz.
I might too, just because Detroit has zero defense at
Okay.
all.
Last one. Kirk Cousins against Philadelphia. I say roll out Kirk. I would roll
I
out
have
Wentz.
to.
I would roll
I
out
have to.
Wentz, Cousins over him for sure.
I
I probably draw
So
the
hard.
line at Matt Ryan and Derek Carr. I don't think I roll out either one of those guys
Mm-mm.
over because they didn't look as great in week one either.
I don't know. Matt Ryan didn't look that bad in week one.
They struggled there at the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
They
but
struggled pretty bad at the
maybe
beginning
they
of the
take
game.
that crazy fourth quarter in the next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
So,
So maybe
or even
Matt Ryan
tomorrow.
against Jacksonville as well. You're
Yeah,
more to
I
start.
would probably be more apt to take Matt Ryan over either of the other two, just because he's playing against Jacksonville, and I think no, Pittman's out this week. Didn't think
Yeah,
about
that did
Pittman's
yeah,
out this week,
Pittman's
and
out this week.
that was his like huge big time target, big time yardage receiver.
Yeah.
So that's never mind on the Ryan thing.
I think Kirk Cousins against Philadelphia is probably the best out of those options we talked about, just because Philadelphia has already showed that they couldn't stop the Detroit Lions.
Right.
And I feel like that Philadelphia can score as well. So I feel like Kirk Cousins is going to have to continue to throw the ball.
Right. He can't. He's not going to be able to run it as much as maybe people might think they'll have to.
But just finishing on the Rams there, Matthew Stafford, if you have to, the backfield, Darrell Henderson was the guy last week. I expect him to look pretty good against the Falcons. If I have Darrell Henderson, he's a great flex option this week. If you've got two other running backs, that's good and all. But if you have to put him in one of those running back spots, that's fine too. If you've got a guy like Najee that you're worried about or something like that. Obviously Cam Akers owners are just holding their breath for another week. Like maybe our guy gets more involved this week. Maybe, please give him the ball.
I don't know why, but there's something about Cam Akers and Austin Eckler that I don't like. I want nothing to do with them when it comes to fantasy football or even being fans of them.
Yeah, no,
Like,
you're definitely sitting Cam Akers this week.
Yeah.
Definitely sitting and hoping that maybe he's on your roster next week. Maybe he does good enough for you to keep him there. As far as wide receivers, obviously you're playing Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
I think you're rolling out Allen Robinson still, and you're fine. I know that he didn't have a good week last week. I know it was 1 for 12, but it's the Falcons defense, and I think that this is a get right game for Allen Robinson, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I
I
don't think
mean,
I don't think you're going past that though. I don't think there's any tight ends I would play or any third wide receivers I would play. Matthew Stafford needs to prove himself a little bit more first.
yeah. All right. What do you think it's final score was?
Well, you want to throw Falcons names out there? I know it's not many, but
Oh,
we could
yeah.
try.
Kyle Pitts. I
You're
mean,
obviously playing Kyle Pitts. I
yeah,
mean, like I
you
know
gotta
that
play
last week he
him.
didn't have a good week. I think you're still playing Cordell Patterson too, just because last week he looked so good. Like you expect you keep thinking like, ah man, this is the week. Like he's gonna do bad, and then he's involved in the passing game even when they're down. And then it's like, nah, this week he's not. Okay, well then he just busts out all these crazy long runs. Like he just finds a way to contribute fantasy wise, even if the Falcons are not looking good. Now I
Yeah.
do think the Rams defense is going to be more amped up this week, but I feel like Cordell Patterson finds a way to get it done. And he could have 6 or 7 receptions in this game
Yeah.
out of the backfield. Obviously, no, I think that's where the train stops is those two
Hmm.
guys.
Yeah.
You're still waiting to see on Drake London. Now he looked good. Don't get me wrong. I want to say 12 fantasy points last week, 7 receptions, 50 yards, I think, or something like that. That's a little bit of a guess. Don't
There's been
quote.
there's been worse lines.
Absolutely, but I don't think you're quite sold on the rookie just yet.
Mm-mm.
Especially when he could see a little Jalen Ramsey treatment. Which Stephon
Yeah.
Diggs is one thing, but a rookie and Drake London, that's totally different ball game.
Yeah.
So, um, final score wise, this is a get right game for the Rams. I'm gonna say 31-14.
I gave him 28-14. So
Hmm. Okay. I just feel you feel like the Rams are going to turn it around right here.
hope so.
I guess
Yeah.
we're going Texans Broncos next.
Yeah, that's what I've
I
got.
think this is another get right game, my opinion.
Hmm.
I think the Broncos come out and just see how much Russell Wilson can throw the ball.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody's off the table in this game. If you got Russ, you can start him. If
Hmm.
you've got Javonte Williams, you're starting him. If you've got Melvin Gordon, you might be starting him. If you don't like if you maybe have an injury at the running back position or something, or somebody isn't quite looking as good as you thought. Maybe you
Yeah.
drafted Damian Pierce that's on the other side of the ball, and Rex Burkhead is somehow taking all of his snaps. Well,
Mhm.
now you can just plug and play Melvin Gordon and probably be just fine. Uh, you're obviously playing Jerry Judy. You're
Mhm.
playing Cortland
Cortland
Sutton.
Sutton. Yeah.
I think that's where you stop. KJ Hamler didn't only had one target last week, so he's out. And then you can't start any of the tight ends because there's 4 of them.
Hmm.
So I think you're out on all those guys. But that's a lot of fantasy options from one team.
Hmm.
Any player in there that you want to mention in particular that you think is just going to stand out right there?
Well, I hope Jerry Judy stands out this
Yeah.
week. It'd be nice. I do think that one of the two of their undecided but undisputed 1 and 2 wide receivers, Cortland Sutton or Jerry Judy's gonna have a big week. One of them's gonna have two touchdown receptions. I'm gonna just say that. Just throw it
Yeah,
out
I
there.
got you. I got you. On the Texans side of the ball, Brandon Cooks, Brandon,
Brandon
Brandon,
Cooks
Brandon
and
Cooks, and hey, Brandon Cooks.
yeah, I mean,
Other than that, you're not rolling out any other wide receiver, any other tight end. If you had to in a 12 to 14 team league, Rex Burkhead is an option just because of he's gonna get opportunity, and he's gonna catch some passes out of the backfield, and he's gonna be what he was back in the day for New England, while Damian Pierce is getting accustomed to the NFL.
right.
But at some point here, week 5, 6, 7, somewhere around in there, Damian Pierce is gonna be the lead back here, and then you'll feel a little bit better. But yeah, right now I think you're just Brandon Cooks and just chilling.
Yeah.
Not to say that the Texans didn't play a good ball game week 1 time the Colts.
Yeah.
But I think the Broncos take care of business here. What you got the final score as?
I have this one at 28-10 Denver. I think they might
Okay.
flex their muscles a little bit this week.
I'm gonna go 24-10.
Okay.
Um, I do think I think what happens here is they get up early, maybe 2 passing touchdowns early, and
Hmm.
then they really just use that 1A and 2A in the backfield. Like
Yeah.
they've got two 1As back there basically. Like Melvin Gordon is still a really good football player. Like,
Hmm.
everybody's like, well, Javonte Williams is going to be the guy. Like the Chargers want him to be the guy. That's great. Even Melvin Gordon said, that the Chargers want Javon. That not the Chargers, crap. That the Broncos want Javonte to be the guy. But
Hmm.
Melvin Gordon is still really good at football.
Yeah.
Like, so both of these guys, I could see both of them scoring a touchdown in this game. Possibly. Maybe Javonte catches one, and maybe Melvin Gordon runs one in late, like when they're just running out the clock and just
Yeah.
just pummeling them a little bit. Um, and then you said you wanted to jump to the Sunday night game because it was a little less appetizing.
Yeah. Yeah. Bears Packers. I mean,
I, I'm not feeling excited about this one. I think
no,
this
I'm
could be
not.
a very low scoring game.
Yeah.
You can say what you want about Aaron Rodgers owning the Chicago franchise. Well, I think Devontae Adams owned the Chicago franchise quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, he took his shares and he is now elsewhere.
Yeah.
The Packers offense didn't look good. The Bears were playing in the rain fest, against San Francisco, so they didn't have good numbers. I don't know about this one. This is a weird one. Obviously you gotta go with the Packers just because they have Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think you're feeling great about it.
No, like you. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers is 23-5 against the Bears.
Yeah.
He's their daddy. So I do think that they win probably, but it wouldn't surprise me just because of like he's never had this bad of a receiving core before.
Yeah.
At least since I've been paying attention to football. Maybe since
Yeah,
I've been alive.
you're right. You're absolutely right.
And at a certain point, it doesn't matter how good the quarterback is. If you just got crappy receivers, then you're just gonna struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as the Packers go, Aaron Rodgers, I think let's go back to that conversation that we just had a second ago. Aaron Rodgers or Matt Ryan? No, not Matt Ryan. Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins?
Who's Cousins playing against?
Philadelphia on Monday
Cousins.
night. Cousins. Okay, Aaron Rodgers or Carson Wentz?
Who's Carson Wentz playing against?
Detroit.
Oh, Carson Wentz.
Yeah, see, there you go. Two guys on the waiver wire that you would play over him. And those two guys probably aren't on the waiver wire in a 12-man league.
Probably not. No, those
Probably
guys are
not. No,
starting.
those guys are starting for sure for somebody. Somebody grab those guys.
Yeah.
But if you had to, I don't think he's gonna have a terrible game. I wouldn't expect 4 touchdowns. Expect 2. Um,
I've got. You want us to go first on final score on this one?
no, I was gonna say you're definitely playing both running backs for the Packers though.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
playing Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. And if Alan Lazard plays, if he had 3 limited practices this week, limited meaning he could have been just jogging by himself, like no contact whatsoever. Period. I don't think that means you're ready for football.
Right.
So if he plays, he might be on a pitch count. So I'm staying away from all wide receivers till further notice. I
Right.
might play Robert Tunyon at tight end just because he could catch a touchdown.
Maybe.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't feel good about it.
I don't feel good about any fantasy option in this game, to be honest with you.
As
Other
as
than maybe God, what's his name for the Bears? The running back.
David Montgomery.
Yeah, he's not
That's what
bad.
I was going to say. Not a
Yeah.
bad look. He's going to get his touches.
Yeah.
Last week was a weird game. Like David
Mhm.
Montgomery had a ton of touches, barely any yards, and people freaked out. Heck, Joe even dropped him in our Yahoo league. And my dad needed a running back, and I was like, "Dude, why are you not picking up David Montgomery?" Like
Dude, why
I
didn't I
can't
pick up Dave Montgomery?
exactly. Like I was trying to find a way on my
I didn't
roster
know
to
he
make
was.
it work, but
Joe dropped him.
like straight up dropped him. Like, and I think
Dude.
that was a little quick on the trigger. Now, for
Yeah.
everything that David Montgomery is, he's going to have some stinkers because he's on a
Yeah.
bad team.
Right.
But like, he's going to get so many opportunities. Like, it's not even close. But yeah, he's the only one on the Bears side of the ball that I'd be playing in this one.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely sitting Darnell Mooney. I'm sitting
Yeah.
Cole Kmet, the tight end, until further notice. Final score. Eesh. 17-7. Packers.
That's the same thing, Packers.
Yep. 17-7.
Yep.
I'll give the Bears one.
I'll give the Bears one.
I
but
would not be absolutely startled if the Bears won this game.
I wouldn't be either.
And that's
Just because,
sad.
I feel bad, but I also don't for Aaron Rodgers because he got his big payday, but now he's laying in the bed that he made for
He
himself.
is, and you know what? Go have at it, bud.
Yeah, I mean,
Have at it, bud.
he has a ring, so it's not like he just did it for the money. Like, look, I'm old, I want my money.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it is what he did. Really, I don't think that there's any way he can feel good about what the Packers are doing.
No, it's the Packers are retooling at wide receiver whenever they only have a couple years left of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let's move on to the juicy matchups here. Which one do you want to cover first?
I think we can save Cardinals Raiders for last. Even though I'm a big Bengals guy, we can cover the Bengals first here.
Yep. Bengals Cowboys. Nick being a Bengals fan got the Joe Burrow jersey on. I think this one's interesting for more than just that fact. Obviously we could talk about the Bengals first. That's the one that you're gonna have the most fantasy options that you're willing to play. You're rolling out Joe Burrow in this one. You're going with So Jamar Chase for sure.
Yeah.
T. Higgins, if he is active, I think you have to play him.
Mm-hmm.
If he's active, I will be playing him.
Yes,
just because he's T. Higgins.
I have him set in my lineup right now because I've seen a lot of reports saying that they expect him to play tomorrow. So
absolutely, absolutely.
Hopefully.
So I mean, he's playing. If he's on the field, don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. If he's on the field, put him in your lineup.
If he is somehow a game time decision and they decide against it, Tyler Boyd, it could be in a lot of lineups.
Yeah.
And be very, very serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mixon, obviously. You're playing Joe Mixon. I don't even think we had to talk about that.
No.
On the Cowboys side of the ball, Zeke. And I think if you have CeeDee, you have to play him.
Yeah,
I feel better about him than I do like DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush started one game last season and threw for over 300 yards. He had 10 targets to CeeDee, 10 targets to Dalton Schultz, I think.
Hey, play Dalton Schultz.
Play Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz, I feel better about than CeeDee.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton Schultz is literally Cooper Rush's best friend right now.
Right.
Hey, Cooper, right here. 5 yards down the field. Throw me the ball. He is literally Cooper Rush's best friend right now. They probably went out to dinner every night this week. Okay. They're eating breakfast together tomorrow morning. Okay.
Hey, good Lord.
And he's going to lean across the table and he's going to say, all you need to do is exist between the snap and you getting Dalton the ball.
Yeah.
And that's a little Friday Night Lights reference for Booby Miles, if you can't remember that one. But no, Dalton Schultz I feel better about than CeeDee Lamb. But if I have CeeDee Lamb, I have to play CeeDee Lamb.
Right. I don't really think you can sit CeeDee if you have him.
No, too high draft capital there.
Yeah.
You are praying. You are praying pretty heavily.
You're hoping that Cooper Rush can hit him 6 or 7 times, and hopefully he can get a touchdown or something.
You're not hoping 15 to 20 points anymore. You're hoping 15 points is probably what you're hoping for as a ceiling. And if you get 15 points, you probably feel really good about it.
Right.
But if you get 15 points a game out of a wide receiver, you're feeling good about it anyway.
Yeah.
So you're probably thinking 10 to 15 range in this one. That's what you're probably looking for?
Probably.
But yeah, those 3 guys are the only ones that I'm playing in this one. I'm not taking some kind of flyer on a rando second wide receiver. Defensive wise, I got the Bengals in this one. I got the Bengals defense in one of my fantasy leagues, and I feel good about it. I feel really good about it. Because it is the first game, and that Cowboys offensive line is just not it. Left tackle gone for the year, left guard gone for it could be several weeks, could be 3-4 weeks. Got a high ankle sprain. Okay, And that's a big boy with a
Yeah,
high ankle sprain.
pretty good.
The center is not like seen as like great. The right guard left in free agency, so they've got a new right guard, and uh, right tackle wise, they're not seen as really great. And I don't, and wait, I said that wrong. Right guard didn't leave in free agency. Left guard left in free agency, and then they had to their right tackle. Their right tackle left in free agency. Right guard is Zach Martin. Maybe you just like if you snap the ball as Cooper Rush, just go stand behind Zach Martin. Just like maybe let Zach Martin snap the ball. Man, let's think of ways around the problem. Get as far away from the left side of this offensive line as possible.
Yeah.
They are all hurt. They are all struggling. Now, I will say the left tackle rookie didn't do as bad last week. He actually looked okay, but then the left guard right beside of him gets hurt.
Yeah.
So it's just bad look for the Cowboys right now. I actually, the more I think about it, I think it was smart that they didn't trade for a quarterback. And
Mhm.
if the offensive line looked good this week and the defense looked like they could stop somebody and Cooper Rush was the only thing that was wrong, I could see it.
Yeah.
Like I could see next week them bringing somebody in. They're 0-2. That wouldn't hurt anything. But I definitely think they're going to be 0-2. So,
Yeah.
I say the Bengals handle business pretty handily here. Not handily. I say I'll give them a little bit of point value here. I would say 27-13ish.
I got it 28-10 Bengals.
Okay.
But I will say one thing that I'm hoping to see from Burrow tomorrow: no interceptions. I don't want any interceptions tomorrow. No interceptions.
Well, I think what you're looking at more than anything is the offensive line for the Bengals.
Yeah,
This
true.
is not a weak pass rush. You got Micah Parsons and DeMarcus
Mhm.
Lawrence coming after you here. So for everything that the Cowboys secondary is not, their defensive line is pretty scary.
Yeah, and the Bengals whole new front five this year. And Joe Burrow got sacked 7 times week 1. So,
Yep.
that was the biggest problem last year for
Flashbacks.
him. Yeah,
Flashbacks.
really, Vietnam flashbacks. That was the biggest problem last year. I think on the whole team might have been the offensive line. Burrow got sacked more than anyone in the NFL,
I
and still
heard
had one of the higher passer ratings in the NFL.
now, Nick, I heard after the sixth sack, he got up and he asked the huddle if they were back in the playoffs. If they is this the AFC title game? No, just kidding. They didn't say that. But I don't know, man. Like hopefully they get it together. I want to see the Bengals do well. But
If they can hold, you know, 2 or less sacks.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. I don't even know how many times he got hurried last week. Probably every play. Every pass.
He probably snapped the ball and started running. Snapped the ball and left the pocket immediately.
Like I don't know. Like just keep him safe. Quit letting people hit him every set of downs. Like my God. And I think if you can do that, the interceptions will go down. When if he has time to make a pass that he feels confident in or that he knows is going to be good, it's going to be good. He's not going to throw 4 picks and when he feels good about what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to give him time to work down the field with Ja'Marr Chase for sure.
Yeah.
And we'll move on to probably the most exciting 4 o'clock game, a battle of 0-1s, Cardinals,
That's crazy.
Raiders. It is. But now they both play good teams. Cardinals
One
play the Chiefs, Raiders
one of
play the
these
Chargers.
teams is going to be 0-2.
Yeah, and I think whichever team is 0-2, I know it's not time to hit the panic button on them, but I think that team themselves will probably be pretty, pretty down on that. Just starting out 0-2 whenever you're in divisional races that could be really, really tough. Fantasy options here on the Cardinals. If you got Kyler Murray, you're starting Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Don't worry about last week. They got behind early and just like didn't look like themselves. If you got James Conner, you're starting James Conner. And then as far as wide receivers go, Marquise Brown is where the train stops. I don't even think just because Zach Ertz caught two passes and caught that touchdown does not mean that Zach Ertz, he had 2 targets.
Yeah, don't play
and
Zach
that
Ertz.
was in
don't play
garbage time. Yeah. So I think, Kyler, James Conner, Marquise Brown, end of story.
Yeah.
As far as the Raiders go, I say just chill on Derek Carr for a little bit. Now
Now, if
the
you're in a deeper
Cardinals,
league, you might
yeah,
need
yeah,
Derek
because the
Carr.
Cardinals defense last week let Patrick Mahomes absolutely make him look foolish.
Hmm.
So Derek Carr may be able to throw the ball pretty good as well. He's not Patrick Mahomes, but he still can throw the ball.
Yeah,
Uh, Josh Jacobs, you're obviously playing Josh Jacobs in this one.
yeah.
Um, and then as far as wide receiver goes, Devontae Adams, I still think that you can have some faith in Mr. Hunter Renfro. I think he'll be okay. And have some faith in Darren Waller. I think this is a weak enough defense that all three of those guys will get what they need to be good fantasy options this week. Now, I'd say temper expectations, though. If you're playing Hunter Renfro, you're thinking 12 to 13 points. That's what I need.
Yeah.
And then if you're playing Darren Waller, barring a touchdown, with a touchdown, he could be just like a 10, 11 point guy this year. Because Devontae Adams is the new inside the 20s guy, not Darren Waller.
Hmm.
Before it was, before you had Henry Ruggs and Hunter Renfro, two shorter, quicker, wide receivers, and you had Darren Waller. Who else are you gonna throw it to in the red zone?
Right.
Now you got Devontae Adams. So that just changes everything on that
Yeah.
end.
And I think if Devontae Adams continues to get as much attention as he got last week, it might be time to just say Hunter Renfro is not going to be the guy. Like it's going to be Devontae Adams until Devontae Adams dies or something.
Yeah, I think Hunter Renfro is a guy that you can hang on to for probably at least 3 weeks.
Oh
See
no,
how the first 3 weeks go.
yeah, I have him. I started him last week and he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
I put him on my bench for Michael Thomas because
yep.
Michael Thomas did get 2 touchdowns or so. Like it's hard for me to give myself a reason to like think that that's justified to start him and sit the other.
I understand.
But I'm holding on to him. I'm not giving up hope that he can't be something.
Absolutely. Final score prediction on this one.
I've got it 28-24 Arizona.
I'm gonna go 21-17 Las Vegas in this one. I just like the Raiders. I don't like the defense for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're still gonna have a hard time getting it done on offense without a number 2 wide receiver that's serviceable.
Yeah.
AJ Green's just not it anymore. He just can't do it, and Marquise Brown can't do it all by himself. You will see them force feed Marquise Brown in this game. I think Marquise Brown has over 10 targets in this game easy. I really think so, my opinion. So tell me, Nick, while we're thinking about upsets, tell me one guy for one of these teams that maybe isn't the greatest standout in fantasy football that you think is going to have a crazy good week this week.
Oh Lord, Kobe, I wish you'd asked me this so I could think of it. Hold on.
And I can throw out a guy.
Oh, does it? Oh, no, it can't be like a guy you expect to be good, but like have a crazy stupid week. Okay.
No, let's do somebody behind the scenes here.
Shoot.
I'm gonna say Hunter Renfro.
I ain't saying Hunter Renfro, dude.
I'm gonna say Hunter Renfro. I say Hunter Renfro goes. Bold prediction: Hunter Renfro has 8 or more catches for 50+ yards. Let's go with that. 8 or more catches, 50+ yards. You feel good about 13+ points from Hunter Renfro.
Yeah. I could see that for sure, but I mean, gosh almighty. Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton aren't highly touted, fantasy guys, but I don't know. I'll pick them. Why not?
So what are you predicting there? Touchdown for both?
No, I'm gonna say Jerry Jeudy because I got him. He's gonna catch 2 touchdown passes tomorrow.
So what's Cortland Sutton gonna do?
Nothing anymore, just because I don't have him in any of my leagues.
And
you have him in a league.
Well, there we go.
You have him in a league. So
I'll be smiling when I'm 2-0.
Well, I don't play you. You can be 2-0, and I'm 2-0 too. So.
I hear you. I'll talk to my dad about it tomorrow. See if he can't help.
Hey, I'm gonna whoop him in both leagues this week.
Oh boy, you heard it here first. I'm gonna replay this back. Listen, I'm gonna replay this back to him on the next podcast.
I'm projected to win both leagues.
Okay, now we do have to pick a bold take upset.
Oh God.
I think we already talked about one.
Bears,
Bears,
Packers.
Bears, Packers. I think that is the most clear cut upset here. I don't think if the Seahawks beat the 49ers, I'm not going to be surprised.
No, that's not like
You
a
know,
crazy upset to me after how bad the 49ers played
I
in week
don't
one.
think the Rams have a chance at losing. I don't think the Bengals have a chance at losing. I don't think the Broncos have a chance at losing. And either way the Cardinals Raiders go, I'm not going to worry about it. I
Yeah.
think that the Bears over the Packers would be the obvious choice for a matchup like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Nick, I'm going to ask your help real quick before we
Okay.
go here. We're going to do a little fantasy football live, setting up a man's lineup here.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay. So I've got T. Higgins
Mm-hmm.
on the bench, right? I've got him on the bench right now, but if he plays, I want to play him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've got Cortland Sutton, I've got Brandon Cooks, and I've got Christian Kirk. Who's he going in over?
Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk, just because of
How bad the Jaguars are.
Okay. I would say Christian Kirk because of how good the Indianapolis defense could be.
That's true too. I didn't even think about that. I didn't know who they were playing.
Brandon Cooks got his last week, but Christian Kirk is not Brandon Cooks. So
Yeah.
I think right now I'm T. Higgins over Kirk as well. So just just kind of worried about that one. That's obviously a big deal for me to watch out for tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, T. Higgins could come back and score 20 points. I mean, you never know. Like against the Cowboys, the Bengals offense might go stupid. If Burrow's on point, it might be ridiculous.
Couple real quick things. As far as injuries, Alan Lazard questionable for Sunday. Alvin Kamara questionable for Sunday. Jameis Winston questionable. Leonard Fournette questionable. Gabe Davis questionable. Michael Pittman is out. Justin Herbert is day-to-day for next week, so pay attention to that. Kenneth Walker will be starting. J.K. Dobbins is questionable. You're sitting him. Don't worry about him. Chris Godwin is for sure out this week. Najee Harris is for sure in. Alvin, then it starts being a little repetitive. But that was just a couple things just off the top here on the Sleeper app. So, Nick, I think it's time to tell them what they're supposed to do.
All right. You're going to have to watch the video that's about to pop up under Colby, and you're going to have to hit the subscribe option that's about to pop up under me, and you're going to have to comment. Let us know what y'all think about our score predictions or our fantasy options we're giving y'all. Let us know if you picked up one of the guys we recommended and dropped somebody we said that you kind of shouldn't be that high on.
Yeah, if you pick up Kirk Cousins this week and he pops off and you win, listen.
Comment and let us know.
Absolutely.
And let us know.
And hey, rep the boys this week. We got Baker. We got Joe.
Hey, McCaffrey's up here in the closet somewhere.
They're going off this week.
Yeah,
they're going off. Yeah. The boys are back in town.
Oh yeah.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank y'all.
Play podcast.